Marty, you ready to go?
Well, I want to thank everybody for inviting me out here this evening. My name is Charlie Riley. I'm 57 years old. I've been married to my sweet wife for 37 years. We have 2 grown children and 4 grandchildren. I've lived in Montgomery County since 1971. I graduated from Magnolia High School in 1975. I've been involved in numerous community activities. I'm serving the 9th year of my 3rd term, or my last year of my 3rd term, as a school board trustee for Magnolia ISD, and I'm the immediate past president of that board. I've been the founding member and president of the Magnolia Education Foundation. I've been on the Magnolia Lions Club. I'm involved in a lot of stuff in the community. For the last 13 years, I've had the honor to serve the people of Precinct 2 as the manager of precinct operations for Montgomery County. What that job entails is the day-to-day operations of one of the fastest growing precincts in Montgomery County. I oversee the budget, the personnel, the equipment, materials, and the maintenance of close to 800 miles of roads. I think my experience and my know-how and my knowledge of that job makes me uniquely qualified to do the job, and I think I could move into this job and take over day one without much of a learning curve or much of a training. And I would really like to do. I love what I do now. I love my job. I have a passion for getting things done, for trying to make things better than what they are, and I go home every day hoping that I have made just some difference in Montgomery County every day I go home. That's what I strive for, and that's what I live by. That's what I try to get out of the guys to live by. That's what I try to get the guys that work for me and with me to do the same thing. And I would love to be the county commissioner for here at Precinct 2, and that's my goal, and that's what I'd like to do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you got a question?
I have a curious question. On the mailer, and I may be paraphrasing it, you use the word entrenched in county politics to mention that you're already in the game, that you won't have to be on a learning curve once you get elected. With all the ethics that have been involved over the last few years, would you be doing that differently than is currently in there, or how would you handle that differently?
I don't know how in the world I missed the word entrenched. That was a terrible choice of words. When I say I'm involved or entrenched, I'm involved. I'm involved in the day-to-day operations of this precinct, and I have been involved some countywide. But when I say I'm entrenched with TxDOT, dealing with projects with TxDOT, trying to get those guys to help us do roads. HGAC, trying to get funding for different things. Other municipalities, we do a lot of work with the city of Magnolia, interlocal agreement type work, city of Shenandoah, Stagecoach, those type things. So that's about as entrenched as I am. I'm not entrenched so much that I've been ruined. I can promise you that. And I would do things different. Yes, I would.
Okay, who's next? Come on, you got a green card, Betty.
I live in Precinct 2, and I'm a precinct chair, and live in Shenandoah. So I'm very interested in this race. You seem like a very fine candidate in many ways, but I have been told that you're accepting a lot of money from contractors out of Harris County. I'm a little concerned about, campaign contributions that might have some expectations attached. Can you tell me about your campaign contributions and contractors and what your relationship is?
Well, I will tell you this, that I have some relationships with mainly some engineers that do work in Montgomery County. Some of them are from Montgomery County, some of them are from Harris County.
No, that's really, doesn't matter long as
Yeah.
we're talking about contractors who might actually want to get some parts.
Well, when I went out, when I started my campaign, we sent out brochures that we were running for this office, and we sent out pledges to thousands of people. And we did get a lot of money from engineers. We got a lot of money from contractors, but I'm the kind of guy that I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize me or my family or my name, or I'm not going to take money from anybody that I think is going to want me to pat them on the back or give them something that is not right, or they think that I'm going to show them favoritism. I'm not that kind of guy. I appreciate their money. I mean, it's helped me out, but if there's something that they think they're going to get just because they gave me money, well, that's not going to happen here. I'm not going to jeopardize anything to hurt me or my family. I just won't do it.
Okay, next.
Okay.
So what's the budget of precinct 2? And then also, how do you envision projects being decided as far as whether it's something to want or need? How do you go about the process of making a decision? Who makes that decision? Is it solely you, or is there a committee that does it? You depend upon members of the actual precinct, or how do you go about making that decision?
The budget is about $5.7 million this year. And how we go about planning what we're going to do and how we're going to go about doing it, I do make the decisions, but I have two road supervisors that help me do that, and I've got 2 drainage supervisors that help me do that. And also, I have a lot of homeowners association that I am the liaison with. I mean, we communicate back and forth all the time with these people, and they will call, and we'll get together every year, and we'll ride through their subdivisions, or we'll ride through whatever they want to look at, and we'll determine if there's something that needs to be done in there, number one, and if it needs to be now, or if it can be put off, or we can do some of it, or we do all of it. But I take that into consideration too. But my paving, my asphalt budget is somewhere a little over $1.5 million. So, you know, it costs $100,000 a mile to pave a mile of road, and that's if you don't have to do a lot of major work to it. So I can't do but about 10, 11 miles of road with my budget. So we have to make sure we pick and choose and make sure we're doing the right things instead of just going out and paving something or fixing something or repairing something or building something that we just don't need right now.
So how's that process decided? How do you decide, I mean, you've got a large portion or a large precinct, how do you decide where you go and you do the work on the various road or independent road?
We go and look, we physically go look at the road or look at the subdivision and get with the homeowners association. If there's a homeowners association, if there's not, we take a look at the road and we determine whether, in our opinion, it needs to be done. It's not that somebody wants it, it's something that needs to be done. And that's when we'll make our list, and we'll make the list up, and we're working on our list right now for this year of what we need to do. And then we'll prioritize that list, and then that's when we'll start sometime in March or 1st of April. We'll start taking care of our roads. Did that answer your question?
Well, you said you basically had 11 miles. How many miles of roads do we have in precinct 2?
There's almost close to 800 miles of county maintained roads.
So how do you prioritize what 11 miles are going to do in a specific year?
It's just, you have to actually go out and take a look and ride the roads, and you have to go look at it. You have to go do it yourself. I mean, I can't depend on somebody else just to call me and say we want our road paved. I mean, but they do, and then we'll go out and look, but we can't just go on that.
I understand. I'm just trying to figure out the basis of, say that you have 50 miles of road that needs to be repaired. So how do you make the decision process?
Well,
the process for making that decision of which 11 miles of roads is
we'll go through. Let's just pick a I'll just pick Mill Creek now, I'm just gonna pick a subdivision, and this is how we do it. We rode through there, and we did that this week, we rode through there this week, and we picked the worst, if there's a real bad place or the worst spot in this subdivision, we'll try to do at least 1 mile a year in that subdivision. And then we'll get with those people and we'll put a list together. You know, we're gonna go from here to here this year, next year we're gonna go from here to here, next year we're gonna go from here to there, then we might skip a year. And then come back, but that's, I don't see any other way to do it than actually going out and physically looking and making sure that you're doing the right thing on that road.
Who's next?
In your questionnaire, there's a question about which is more important, the way you go about things or the end result, and your answer isn't clear. Could you please explain your opinion there?
I think the way that, the way you go about it is gonna be more important than the results, but I think they all tie together. I mean, if there's guidelines and procedures and ways that you should do things, certainly you need to follow those, and I do my best to follow those. But you also want to make sure that you get the job done following those procedures, and I think they go hand in hand, that you have to have procedures, but you also have to get the job done.
Well, sometimes, especially with corruption, people will tell you if you don't go along with my way, you just plain aren't going to get your way. So which would you pick? Getting your result or doing the right thing?
Doing the right thing. I'm not gonna be threatened by anybody. If I don't do this, I'm not gonna get something. I'm not gonna be, that won't happen. If this is the way it's supposed to be, and it's set out here in procedures and guidelines, and that's how it has to be done, that's how it will be done.
Who's next? Right.
Okay. On commissioners' courts, hardly anyone shows up, so you don't have a lot of input from the public. What's the way that you could resolve that to get more in touch with the people in your community? Or in your precinct, or
Well,
all precincts as a commissioner count?
you know, I've always thought, now I don't know about how we could get more people in commissioner's court unless you change the days and times and that type of thing. I don't know. And I'm not against doing that. I just don't know. But what I've always wanted to do is, and this is gonna sound cheesy maybe, but I like the old town hall meetings. I'd love to have a meeting in my office every quarter or once a month or whatever, and whoever just show up, or have it at the community building. And I'd love to have, have the commissioner there, have the constable there, have if the sheriff can't make it, have his lieutenant from over here. I mean, that's when you get everybody involved, and people know what's going on, and you can talk to the right people. Going to commissioner's court, I don't know if you can talk to the right people all the time. I mean, there's so much going on, and I think it'd be better doing it here. But if it were to come down to where we need to change the date, the time, and I would certainly look into that.
Ben?
Yeah, do you think it's the role of county government to tell people where they should be at certain places of the day?
I'm sorry?
Do you think it's the role of county government to tell people where they should be at certain times in the day?
No, sir, I don't.
So would you support removing the curfew we have?
The curfew at night,
Yeah.
I would certainly remove it. I don't see a problem with removing it.
Okay.
Charlie, do you think that if we had a unit road system where the roads were taken under a county engineer or similar type of office, do you think that would be a more efficient system to get the maintenance done and the building county roads done on a more efficient type schedule and expense?
No, sir, I personally don't, I really don't. And it's not that I want control, or it's not that I don't want somebody else doing something. It's strictly that if you're gonna take care of your people in precinct 2, you've got to be able to, I always look at it like, when the 94 flood hit, we had roads washed out everywhere around here. If we didn't have the equipment sitting right there that we could use, we had to depend on somebody else. Who knows when we'd have got all this put back together? And if I know something needs to be done right now today, and I can't plan on doing it sometime this next week, I gotta depend on who's doing what somewhere else. I don't know how you get anything done. I really don't. So I think the equipment, I think we do a good job. I know we do a good job at Precinct 2 of taking care of our business. We do it efficiently, we do it on time, we don't mess around.
So how much of the time is that big equipment sitting idle in various precincts?
Well, of course, right now, during the summertime, I don't have anything hardly sitting around. I mean, I've got a paving crew a paving machine that sits there sometimes because we do contract our paving out, because we can have that done for just a little bit more than what it would cost us to do it. And if I were to go and when I went to work for Precinct 2, I'll tell y'all this, there was work orders galore laying around on these tables and desks. And the reason I think it was is because whenever March came around, they would shut down everything else. They would shut down their grade alls, they would shut down their mowing crew, they'd shut down everybody to pave roads. Well, when I got hired, I got to looking around, I got to looking at different situations, and I looked at the contractors. They can do a mile of road for just a few dollars more than what we can, and they take care of all the insurance, traffic control, and everything. So we let those guys do our paving, and then we don't have to shut down our mowing crews, our sign crews, our grade all crews, and we don't get behind on all that, and we don't have work orders scattered everywhere, and we get things done. If you call Precinct 2 today, we will be there. I can't swear we'll be there tomorrow, but we will be there as soon as we can get there. It's no waiting anymore. There's no wondering what's going on or when we're ever going to get there.
Okay, who else? Okay, I'll ask a question. So one of my big gripes with Craig Doyle, he's still in office right now. They built a $5 million fire station in Magnolia, and that was, he appointed, I believe there's 5 members on the district, and he appointed all of them, if I understand it correctly. And I went to him and I said, we didn't vote on it, this is like Taj Mahal. And he basically said, yeah, it's Taj Mahal. And I'm like, he says, but if I don't hear complaints, I'm not gonna say anything. And, so here we've got Taj Mahal, we don't need that thing, in the next 5 years, that big of a thing. And we're, the taxpayers we're paying stuff out of our ears, and we're just getting that. And so one of my struggles I have with supporting you is, you've never come to any of us that are known, tax fighters, supporters, and said, hey, you might want to know about this, and so I'm just thinking I'm going to get the same thing that I get from Craig when I get you. Now I don't know, because I don't know, but I've never known or heard you to do that, and so it just makes me, that's where I'm assuming. So
I don't know how I can answer that, Brian. I don't know how I can convince you that it's night and day between me and Craig. It's a love-hate relationship that we've had, but it's worked most of the time. And I would do. There's so many things I would do different than Craig, and in me not coming to you and talking to you about some of these things, I guess I just never even thought about that, Brian. I mean, I just didn't think about it. But I think on the fire department and the ESD boards, I mean, you got to look at who you're appointing on these boards to make sure you're getting the right guys. And I don't know whether just a bunch of buddies and friends is the right thing to put on that board like that. You know, certainly need businessmen and people that knows what they're doing and financial guys, but that ESD board did vote to do that fire department. So maybe the right people aren't on that board. I don't know. But I don't know how I can convince you that you're not gonna get the same old thing.
Well,
And I don't.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but there's obvious the whole Joe Corley deal. Obviously, you know, there's people that kind of should have seen some red flags and probably did, and it's like, but how do you tell the king that he doesn't have any clothes on? You know, how do you do that? And you know, it's obviously a problem. So you know, until we have more people that'll stand up and willing to, you know, make these courageous things, it's going to be hard on us.
I certainly don't have a problem. I never have had a problem of standing up and saying, hey, this ain't right, or you doing something wrong, or you don't need to be doing that. I certainly don't have a problem doing that. I've done that all my life. And it's like I said a while ago, I'm not going to get myself in a spot where I have to worry about whether I can get to go home or not. I'm going home every night. I'm just not going to do that. I can't do that.
Oh, who else got a question?
And I don't know whether that helped you or not, Brian.
Yeah, no, it's, go ahead, John.
What's the proper role of CO and what items should be used if one's needed?
The COs were created as a funding mechanism. I mean, we all know that, but they were for emergency type situations. You can use them for other things, and they have used them for other things. They've used them for roads and buildings and whatever. I don't know what all they've used them for. And I was asked this question the other day, what if you had the road that you wanted done and you had any other way to fund it, if it's not an emergency, the road's not gonna get built. I wouldn't do that. I mean, there's a road right now I'd love to do, but I couldn't do that. There's no way. It should be used for emergency. I can't sit here and swear to you that who knows what would happen, but I myself personally would certainly, there had to be some kind of convincing that I ain't seen yet to make me do something different.
So in the last 10 years, anything come to mind that would fit that category? Things that have happened in the county?
Oh, yeah, that they've done with CO?
No.
Oh, that I would do?
That you would be legitimate emergencies, the hurricanes.
No, I mean, we didn't, during the hurricane, we were able to handle what we needed to do. We
During the fires in 2011.
fires, we did the same thing. I don't think there was any COs or anything. I don't remember any COs with the hurricane that I remember. I mean, we took care of our own as best we could over here, then we went and helped other people.
Good question.
That's a question about the debt. The county government, I believe, is with interest is something around 700 million or somewhere in that ballpark. But that's only about 1/6 of the total debt that we have in the county with all the smaller ISDs and MUDs and RUDs and all that. I know you don't have any control over those smaller entities, but when you add it up all together, it's like 10,000 per person, man, woman, and child, and that's a staggering amount of debt. So most people don't know who's on these MUDs and RUDs and those boards, but they might have an inkling as to who's on the county commissioner, who their county commissioner is. And so, is there any way you could use, if you get elected, is there any way you can use, for lack of a better word, the bully pulpit that you might have as a higher public official than all these MUDs and RUDs to blow whistles on all this debt and start raising awareness and saying, admonishing smaller boards that shouldn't be doing that, and things like that?
It's certainly something it's certainly something I would not mind looking into. I mean, I've never thought about doing that either. I've never thought about MUDs and all these other utility districts and that type of thing. I could certainly look into that, or I would certainly not mind doing something like that. I don't know I don't know who's got the authority to do what is the main thing.
In this case, all you could do is just raise awareness, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But use your status as a higher elected official in the county to raise awareness and to publicly denounce additional debt and encourage the paying down of the staggering amount of debt we have.
I've never heard the $10,000 a person,
Most people haven't.
and that's, oof, okay.
I think we got time for one or two more. Go ahead, Guy.
And so, I've gotten a lot of flyers email from you, and one in particular, there's a lot of focus on roads that we want to do in precinct 2. And first off, where do you envision the funding coming from that? As a commissioner court, how does the role of your position, how will you be involved? And then why do you believe that additional money is required for actually going and building the various roads that you're talking about? I think I hear a lot about the Fish Road.
Fish Creek?
Fish Creek Road. And I suppose what you're talking about is taking Old Egypt and running it up through Westwood up to, so how does Old Egypt get run? There's a comment about Old Egypt being expanded all the way up Fish Road, as I understood.
This is Honey Egypt from 1488 up to Sendera Ranch, is
Right.
what you're talking about. That project there is funded by the Westwood Improvement
Oh, that's
District.
right. That's right.
Westwood Improvement District. So they funded that project.
So that's coming from the southwest,
From the Westwood Improvement District, it's formed around,
same one that did the research
yes,
for.
yes.
Research for.
Now, we had to pay some money, and I can't remember exactly what it was. We had to match something, but I can't remember what that was. But that's where that road will be, that's where that's funded.
So were you in favor of the southwest improvement, or southwest Montgomery improvement district being incorporated?
Yes, I was.
Ken.
Yeah.
Going back to your certificates of obligation, if there was an incident where, and because this has happened in your area, where the voters said, no, we don't want this done, but you decide, well, your district really needs it, we're gonna do it anyway, how would you vote on that? Because that happened on Fish Creek.
It happened on,
Well, when the voters said no to the bond issue and the commissioners got together and went ahead and built the road anyway, what would you do if the voters said no, but you felt that it was in the best interest in the county?
if it went out for a vote and the voters said no, that's it, it's no. No more.
The commissions voted did the exact opposite there.
I don't recall that being on Fish Creek. They
That's
didn't,
how the parkway got built.
I don't think so.
It went against the voters' interest, because it's a good road. I understand that.
But I don't remember that being CO money. I don't think it was.
I thought it was, where'd they get the money from then if it wasn't CO?
I don't know, but I don't remember that being CO money. I don't think it was.
Is there one more question?
I'll check on it though, I will.
Betty, go ahead.
Who are some of your top endorsers? Endorsements that you're proud of?
Well, the sheriff, Tommy Gage endorsed me, David Hills endorsed me, the Houston area realtors endorsed me the other day, McLeod, Montgomery County Law Enforcement endorsed me. I'm drawing a blank, man. I can't remember, I'm just drawing a blank right now. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine,
Sorry.
that's fine. We got you under the gun, you know.
I'm just totally drawing a blank right now.
Well, if you could just kind of take about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes to wrap up and make sure that we got everything clear. Any last, comments we need to make sure we understand.
Well, again, I want to thank y'all. Man, y'all spend a lot of time around here. Y'all spend a lot of hours here, don't you? I mean,
Yes.
y'all really are. I mean, and it's amazing that y'all, it's good to see that. Again, I think I got the experience. I know I got the experience. I know I got the know-how. I know I could get things done, and I got the want to get things done. And I'm not going to be the same old guy. I'm not a good old boy that's just going to go along to get along. I just won't do that. I love this county. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm the first one there every morning, and I'm one of the last ones to leave. I take care of business. I believe in doing things that way, and I'll run my commissioner's office the same way. I will be there. I won't have somebody else over there running it while I'm somewhere else. I will be where I'm supposed to be, and that'd be on the job, because that's what I love to do. I think I can make a difference. I want to make a difference. I'd like for y'all to help me do that. I'd ask for your support, and I'd appreciate it. And I will promise you that I'll be a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week county commissioner. I won't be nothing else. I'll be on the job, taking care of Precinct 2 in Montgomery County.
Well, we thank you for coming.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.